It's here, it's here.
Calm down, kid.
But I'm so excited.
Hey. Oh, welcome, folks, to a look back at the 2009 Back to the Bricks.
Oh, it's the moment I've been waiting for. Let's start the presentation.
The 5th annual Back to the Bricks is big on nostalgia.
This is a ball. It's something that kind of takes me back to my youth, where we used to cruise all the time.
This is like Christmas in August for us car owners. We really have a great time, and it's not just about the iron, it's about the people that you meet.
Back to the Bricks is just so fabulous. I mean, it's so wonderful for Flint. There's so many people who come here.
The event continues to grow each year.
In fact, organizers have added an extra day to the schedule. ABC 12's Matt Franklin is at the Whiting Auditorium at one of the newest attractions to the festival. Matt?
Hi, Bill and Andrew. We're here in the parking lot of the Whiting Auditorium. This is the first official day of Back to the Bricks, and taking place tonight, right over there, they're going to have a huge screen up, and this festival is called the Bricks Flicks, and they're going to show American Graffiti coming up tonight at 9 o'clock. But in the meantime, I want to show you the big attraction here in the parking lot. It's actually all of these classic cars, great cars. There are 36 sites stretching from downtown Flint to Burton and Grand Blanc, where you can see all these classic cars. The best part about it is that it's all free.
What we've watched in the last year in the transition of this city has been exciting from day one. Today is just another stepping stone in that, and seeing the number of people that are walking the streets, it's something that you wish that everybody that talks negatively about the city would come down and experience.
There is food everywhere here, a lot of classic cars, lots of good music, and those ingredients, that's what brings thousands of people to southern Genesee County for this, the 5th annual Back to the Bricks. For spectators coming into downtown Flint, though, there is a brand new site to check out.
Just in time for Back to the Bricks, downtown Flint's newest dining option is officially open for business.
We're here, we're ready. Should be a lot of people downtown, and we just want to enjoy some good food, friends, and maybe a couple of drinks occasionally.
501 Bar and Grill sits on the ground floor of the Community Foundation building right at the corner of Saginaw and First Streets.
This is a premier corner in downtown Flint, Genesee County, and this is where all the action is going to be.
501 Bar and Grill is the 5th restaurant to open downtown since April, and it probably won't be the last.
In a lot of ways, it's only the beginning, so we're on a roll, and we're going to keep it going if we can.
Paula Zelenko, a Burton City Council person. Very quickly, Paul, I mean, this is an awesome time for Genesee County, is it not?
It's great. It's a great time for family fun, you know, when the economy is the way that it is. What a great opportunity to bring the kids out and have an evening, you know. We've got hot dogs here, you got all sorts of entertainment. It's just great.
Now, is this part of your contract to drive around the mayor? I mean, do you get paid for this? Thank you. That's what I expected. Mayor Smiley riding shotgun with Paula. Not only Genesee County, I mean, arguably this is one of the hottest spots along the 10-13 mile route. This has got to be big news, big deal for Burton.
This is where it's at, right here at Rocky, right here at Saginaw and Bristol Road. It's just so exciting for the entire area, Genesee County as a whole, and how much that we benefit as a county from this. And I'm excited.
They got music going, playing a little Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. I'm not going to sing it for you guys. And then we got all these classic cars here, which are seen to be the real stars down here in Rockies.
Back to the Bricks still has 3 days to go. ABC 12's Mark Jacobson is live in downtown Flint. Mark, what are you seeing out there today?
Actually, there's a lot of activity so far. Over at Blackstone's, the patio is pretty much packed. The new 501 Bar and Grill across the street from us, there's a line practically stretching out the door, so it is alive here in downtown Flint. We've seen a few classic cars out as well, taking an early cruise today.
You know, as you look up and down this cruise route, which is 5 miles to the north, begins in downtown Flint, 5 miles to the south, basically at the end of Warwick Hills, you really can see just about anything out here. I've seen Model Ts, a lot of muscle cars, we've seen Mopars, we've seen Camaros, we've seen a lot of T-Birds, certainly some gorgeous looking trucks. They're one-of-a-kinds, and even some motorcycles, and occasionally you might even catch a Flint-built Buick or two.
This is the place to be, downtown Flint, or any other place along the 10-mile stretch along the Rolling Cruise, which started about 5 o'clock.
But it doesn't end today. The Rolling Cruise runs until 10 p.m. tonight, but of course fun doesn't stop then. Tomorrow night we shift into high gear into downtown Flint with a taste of Motown.
Earlier in the day, there was a free pancake breakfast at the U of M Flint. Maybe a little carbo loading to get the Back to the Bricks drivers ready for the big weekend ahead.
Well, I want to bring in Jerry Preston for a moment, Flint Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Jerry, let's look backwards for a little bit on this whole Back to the Bricks event. We talked about 5 years ago. Did you ever expect it to be like this?
Well, it was 6 years ago, actually, when Al Hatch and company came to us and said, hey, we'd like to do this car show. And I said, that's a great idea. And then they said, we want to do it the same weekend as the Woodward Dream Cruise. I said, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard. But it turned out to be a very brilliant idea on their part, and it's grown and grown exponentially every year, as you well know.
This is, you know, as we kind of lick our wounds with the loss of the Buick Open, this has got to be at least an uplifting and satisfying experience for everybody in this area.
Well, and I think the crowds are demonstrating that. I mean, we didn't have an official cruise Tuesday night, but we had the movies, but we had a cruise too. And then Wednesday and Thursday we had cruises that were going on just great. And tonight's going to be a wonderful time for people to come on down and really enjoy the city.
Finally, I think it was about 2 years ago when we were standing, both of us, on the Back of the Bricks, and we talked about this idea of marrying the Flint Symphony Orchestra, and this has got to be an exciting time.
Well, I think it's a real neat marriage, and it'll be interesting to see the television shots that you get because of the Vehicle City Arch being right in front of the stage, and that having all the splendor of the arches of the city and the community all coming together in one big place.
All right, Jerry, thanks a lot. Jerry Preston, the Flint Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we talk about that shot. It's coming 7 o'clock tonight on top of the North Bank Center. You're going to get a bird's eye view of the Flint Symphony concert, featuring the Contours and Sylvester Potts, as well as the hundreds and hundreds of cars lined up on Saginaw Street.
This was at Duke's Car Stereo on South Dort Highway, where they gave away lunch. That included a hot dog and chips and a little bit of water and stuff. And these were all cruisers from really all over the country. There was even a guy there from Canada who we talked to. There you see the traffic on Saginaw Street. It is moving. At times it's stopped because there's a lot of cool cars out here.
And there it is, the new supercharged Challenger, and the crowd was loving it. Even the mayor came to sit in the driver's seat. Helping to unveil the new Chrysler is Jack Doc Watson. He led Hearst Performance in the 60s and spent 4 decades tied to developing and manufacturing vehicles.
Downtown Flint remains a very active place right now as the bars and restaurants are packed with people who've been partying all night. There you see a few of the classic cars that remain out here, but for the most part, Back to the Bricks is over, but not before making some long-distance connections. Flint police say more than 50,000 people walked through downtown Flint on Saturday to oogle the rides and soak up the sun. Among the people who came out to see the cars, a Fenton dad and his 2-month-old baby.
Now, we were thinking about going down to Woodward, but didn't want to drive that far, and figured we'd come up to Flint and check out the show, and it's a lot bigger and nicer than we thought it was really going to be.
The originator and chairman of the event says after its 5th year, Back to the Bricks has gotten so big, so successful, that larger sponsors want a piece of the action.
I think you're going to see an expanded number of national sponsors. I'm fairly certain of that we've pushed onto the national scene.
Hatch says all of this would have never happened without the Woodward Dream Cruise. The Grand Blanc man has been to both in his 71 Chevelle.
You know, I've done Woodward for many years, but I prefer this style of car show in that the cars are parked and people walk by them versus trying to drive in the traffic in Detroit.
This is fantastic.
Come to Genesee County to see this amazing event. It is now one of the top 50 car cruises in the country. For all of us at ABC 12, thank you and happy cruising.